Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're diving into a massive, multi-billion-dollar AI gold rush. It's all happening in one country, and honestly, it's poised to completely redefine the global tech landscape. Okay, let's just start with this number, $67.5 billion. That is a colossal amount of money, and it's all been pledged by the world's biggest tech companies in just the last few months, all of it flowing into India. This isn't just a trickle of cash, it's like a floodgate just burst open. So, that leads to the big question, right? Why India? Why is all of this happening right now? What is it about the country that suddenly made it the absolute global epicenter for AI and data center investment? Let's break it all down. All right, first up, this unprecedented tech boom. To really get what's going on, you have to follow the money. And let me tell you, this is not your typical investment cycle. Nope, this is a full-on tidal wave of capital from the biggest names in tech, and every single one of them is making a huge, long-term strategic bet. I mean, just look at the sheer scale of these commitments. It's wild. You've got Amazon leading the pack with a jaw-dropping $35 billion pledge. Microsoft isn't too far behind with $17.5 billion, and Google is throwing in $15 billion. These aren't just numbers on a chart. We're talking about foundational investments that are literally going to reshape India's entire digital world. Okay, so next up, the global and local giants, a two-sided rush. Because here's the thing, this story isn't just about Silicon Valley throwing money around. What makes this whole situation so unique is that you have this powerful combination of international giants and India's own domestic titans all racing toward the very same goal. So on one side you have the global hyperscalers, you know the names, Microsoft, Amazon, Google, Meta, OpenAI. They're the ones building out this massive AI-ready cloud infrastructure. But then, on the other side, you have India's own industrial powerhouses. We're talking Tata, Reliance, Adani, Bharti Airtel. They're doubling down on this data center boom, building their own massive facilities. It's a two-sided rush, and it's all happening at an incredible speed. So this brings us right back to our big question. Why is all of this happening right now? Well, it turns out it's not just one thing. It's a unique combination of factors all hitting at the same time. A perfect storm, really, that's created the ideal conditions for this tech explosion. And it really all boils down to four critical drivers. First, there's an absolutely insatiable demand for data. Second, a world-class talent pool that's ready to go. Third, the cost just makes sense. And finally, you've got a strategic policy push coming straight from the government. Wow, I mean, this one statistic really tells the whole story, doesn't it? India generates nearly 20% of the world's data, but stores only 3% of it at home. Think about that for a second. The country is a massive engine for creating data, but until now, almost all of that information was getting processed somewhere else. That gap? Well, that's a huge market opportunity. And then you have the human capital. According to projections from GitHub, India is on track to have the largest community of software developers on the entire planet by 2030. You just can't build an AI ecosystem without the engineers to run it, and India has them in spades. And crucially, the economics just plain make sense. It's significantly cheaper to build these massive, power-hungry data centers in India. Construction costs are some of the lowest in the world, and electricity is about 20% cheaper than in the US, which is a massive advantage when you're running AI models 24/7. The final piece of the puzzle is policy. The Indian government is actively pushing something called digital sovereignty. This is basically a major push to make sure that data generated in India is stored and managed under Indian laws. This is a huge deal. It's forcing global companies to build local infrastructure, and that creates a secure, trusted environment for everyone involved. So, we know the why. Now for the how. What is all this money actually going to build? Well, the investment strategy is much more than just pouring concrete. It all rests on three core interconnected pillars. So the whole blueprint rests on these three core ideas. First, you build the infrastructure, the actual data centers. Second, you develop the skills, you train the people. And third, you ensure sovereignty, making sure it all lines up with local laws. It's a really smart three-part plan. And they are not messing around with the building part. Take Microsoft, for example. Their new data center region in Hyderabad is going to be their largest in the entire country, and it's set to come online in mid-2026. That's a massive statement of intent. Now moving to that second pillar, people. This isn't just about concrete and cables, it's about investing in human potential. The scale of the training initiatives is just incredible. We're talking about a commitment to upskill 20 million people in India with critical AI skills, and that's just from one company.
And that brings us to the third pillar, which is all about trust and control. All of this new tech is being designed from day one to be sovereign ready. That's a fancy way of saying it's built to comply with India's strict data privacy rules, which is absolutely critical for getting both the government and big businesses on board.
All right, so where does all this lead? What happens next? Well, this huge build-out isn't just a big deal for India. It's got some pretty massive implications for the rest of the world, too.
The growth they're projecting is just staggering. Right now, India's data center capacity is about 1 gigawatt. By 2030, they expect that to grow by nearly 9 times. That's an incredible leap. It's the kind of growth that transforms a country into a truly top-tier global hub for data.
And this quote from a key investor really hits the nail on the head. The vision here isn't just about India, it's about building an engine that can service the entire world. The infrastructure going up today is positioned to power AI innovation for other regions, turning India into a really critical piece of the global AI puzzle.
So all this leaves us with one last really interesting question to think about. As India builds this incredible new AI engine for the world, a fascinating power dynamic is starting to play out. Who's actually going to be in the driver's seat? Will it be the global tech giants from Silicon Valley, or will it be India's own powerful domestic companies? The race is on, and the outcome is going to shape the future of technology for decades to come.